When it comes to footballers and their cars, there are certain cliches that you might imagine. Badly wrapped Bentleys, overly blinged BMWs. But with Gareth Ainsworth, things are a bit different. He works for Wycombe Wanderers. It's a club that's a bit different. It's owned by the fans and it's run by a guy who races in the European Le Mans series. And in Gareth Ainsworth, they have one of the most exciting young football managers in English football. So what does Gareth drive? Well, you've got to remember that Gareth is the bloke that brought rock and roll football to Wycombe Wanderers. This is a 1969 Mustang, one of the greatest in a long line of famous Mustangs from Ford. And the owner? You've guessed it, Wycombe Wanderers football club manager and former Premier League player, Gareth Ainsworth.
Growing up, I was, being honest, and being a bit disloyal to the Mustangs, big Starsky and Hutch fan, and Camaros and Torinos, and but then obviously the Bullet film as well with Steve McQueen, a lot to answer for with Mustang lovers. But then I switched off because through the 80s and 90s, you know, Mustang people will know there wasn't too much to shout about.
They weren't great back then, were they?
They weren't. So I remember going through my nice car stage, Porsches and the BMs, and but it comes to 2005, I'm at QPR. I remember one of my teammates coming up to me saying, "Hey, Mr. Rock and Roll, this is rock and roll," and he showed me a picture of the new Mustang that was coming out. They'd revamped it all, based it all on the 60s muscle car, and he was right. And I was hooked from that moment, and I saw that one, and I was lucky enough to be able to go out and order one, and I think I got one of the first ones in the country, and that first day sitting in that and putting the accelerator down, wow, that got me hooked, and that was me on the modern ones. So the story behind this one is getting the modern ones serviced. I remember one year this was in. I looked at it. I said to the guy, "It's a nice car," and he said, "Well, you can buy it if you want." A couple of phone calls later, and I had it, and that was the worst.
Love at first sight.
The worst thing I had to tell the missus, but the best thing I ever did, because love at first sight, you know.
So tell us about the spec of this one.
Yeah, it's a Mach 1. It's in the 60s, obviously they changed from the mid 60s. First Mustang out 64, they changed mid 60s to a fastback, which is what you see today with the long back and the Bullet one. And then they gave different engine sizes. The Bosses, the Mach 1 came out. That was a special one, and you could have it's a small block. It's the Windsor engine 351, 4-speed manual, and basically there's not too much more to them. That's what they are. They're a muscle engine on wheels.
Great though Gareth's 69 Mustang undoubtedly is, it's not the sort of thing you'd want to use as your daily driver. And it just so happens that Gareth is in buying mode right now, so I've got something that may well tempt him. This is the latest 2017 Ford Mustang Gt. It looks like a Mustang alright, but brought bang up to date with this incredible new shape with some fantastic styling details. So first impressions are very important. What's the first impression of the 2017 Ford Mustang?
I will have to say that I had that little moment when I put my foot down first time in that of this is nice, this could be a little bit dangerous, a little bit fun. Like the look of it. I think the colour's important. Yep. I don't want it to fade away into anything BM-ish or German car-ish. It's an American muscle car, and they've got it right. You know, this one. So I'm really pleased with that.
You say it's a muscle car. It's got to be driven, hasn't it? So let's go for a drive.
Let's go and drive.
Yep. So this is a little bit different to your 1969 car, but what are the similarities that you're seeing?
For one, it's a muscle car. You know, the head turning is there, and it's something that you buy a Mustang. It's a bit different. It is a muscle car. You do want to turn heads, and they both do it. Yeah, I think the colour's important on these. I think, as I said earlier, the blue makes it stand out fantastic, and Ford and Mustang have always come up with these grabber colours, they call them, and I think they make a real difference. It's the only car I've got in with 4 different drive modes: Drive, Sport, Sport Plus and Track. And it's also the only car I've ever got in, and a little helmet comes on the dashboard when it tells you to stick a crash helmet on. So
those little bits of humour that
it's got that, and it's obviously must have some capabilities around the track to have that. But again, Ford have I think they've captured the spirit of the Mustang perfectly.
And I'm guessing there won't be too many of these around on the training ground and the club on match days. How do you think the players are going to react to something like this? I'm
lucky enough to have a good group of players, and you know they're inquisitive about. We have a guy on loan from Chelsea. He comes in with his array of cars. He's got gold trims here and this and that. But I think once this turned up on the car park, I think it took pride of place. And just because it's a little bit different, nobody else gets one. You get in a Mustang, you drive a Mustang. Very rarely that you see another Mustang. You get in these other cars we've mentioned. You'll see 10 a penny, and that's what's special about a Mustang.
But it's still a Ford. It's still a car of the people.
Still a Ford, and I remember growing up, my dad said Ford's reliable. They'll get a Ford and stick with it. And the Escorts and the Orions have made way for the Mustang.
Now this car does have one little trick up its sleeve. It's called line lock. Are you ready to burn a bit of rubber?
Sounds good. Let's give it a go.
We're in the track app. We're in gear, so press OK when you find line lock.
Track app, line lock. Yep.
Okay, press OK to initialise. And when that rises to the top, you've got to stamp on the brake until you get all the white bars.
With that.
Press OK again. You should hear a click.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Over to you.
Oh, and that is line lock.
That's something a bit different. You don't get that on many other performance cars.
And we won't be doing it on the Mach 1.
Now you're in buying mode. We've had a bit of fun in the Mustang. Does it tick all the boxes for you?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. So, you know, it's I've got that one. I want that one. Let's see what happens.
Okay, now I've let you play with a Mustang. Can we have a quick chat? So I've got my boots in the car. I wonder if Saturday, do you need a big striker up front?
You stick to the cars, I'll stick to the football.
Thought so.